A government official says the frequency of cross-border bus services could be increased. Hello and welcome to TVB News. With quarantine-free travel between Hong Kong and the mainland restored, authorities say the first day of operations on Sunday were smooth. Shenzhen Customs have reminded travelers to prepare in advance a health declaration form and keep its QR code to cross the border more quickly. Meanwhile, the Secretary for Transport and Logistics said the frequency of cross-border bus services could be increased if necessary. Timothy Lee has more.
This morning, scores of people could be seen in crowded lines at the Lok Ma Chau Spur Line control point as they were about to cross into the mainland. Meanwhile, at Shenzhen Bayport, inbound travelers had their identification documents and negative PCR test results obtained within 48 hours checked by local authorities. Many of those who remained trapped in long queues were filling in necessary information for a health declaration form required by mainland authorities prior to entry. Shenzhen Customs reminded that visitors can save time by filling in the health declaration information digitally via the WeChat mobile app. There, users will have to complete the registration process, including their current health condition and PCR test result. Once complete, a QR code that will remain good for 24 hours will be provided to the users. They have to scan the code before crossing the border. The government announced that the daily quota for Hong Kong people traveling to the mainland remains unfilled, but residents are not allowed to reserve another time slot if they already made a previous booking at a specified date. This has caused a lot of inconveniences to those traveling between the two locations. Like this woman who said people who need to travel between Hong Kong and Shenzhen for work are troubled by this policy. This woman noted that sudden events could derail the original plans of visitors, including her situation where she had to hurry back to the mainland to conduct her mother's funeral. Meanwhile, cross-boundary bus services have been partially restored, with current destinations on the mainland limited to cities such as Jiangmen and Zhongshan. The Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong Express Rail Link is also expected to resume operations within a week's time. Secretary for Transport and Logistics Lam Sai-hung noted that the high-speed railway line will only provide services between Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou initially. But he emphasized that the train service frequency could be increased if necessary. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Some in the business sector said certain pharmacies in the North District saw a 20% growth in business after the restoration of quarantine-free travel. But many in the retail sector have not noticed significant changes. A large number of shops in Shengshui, including the snack shop, have restocked in preparation for an expected influx of mainland travelers, but not all shopkeepers are happy with the business results, saying that many products are already available in the mainland. Some in the pharmacy sector also noted the lack of business growth in mainland tourist hotspots such as Yunlong, Sheungwan, and Mongkok. Many in the retail sector hope that a return to quarantine-free travel will bring back pre-pandemic levels of business. And some slots for certain land border crossing checkpoints have been almost filled up ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday. Hong Kong residents, however, can visit the mainland without waiting for a slot online if they cross the border via the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. That's because travelers from Hong Kong to Macau can purchase cross-border shuttle bus tickets from ticket counters without the need for prior online reservations. Christy Khan has more.
Many Hong Kong residents planned to head north for the Lunar New Year after the mainland announced the reopening of its border from January 8th. This led to land crossing checkpoints except for Man Kam 2 being almost fully booked ahead of the festive holiday. However, there are alternative ways to make the cross-border journey without competing for a reservation slot online. So how does this work? A reporter successfully crossed the border into the mainland from Macau today. It only took him around 40 minutes to arrive in Zhuhai. That's because from last Thursday, travelers from Hong Kong to Macau could purchase cross-border shuttle bus tickets from ticket counters without a need for prior online reservation. Currently, travelers from Hong Kong do not need to present a negative PCR test result when entering Macau. But they still have to show their negative COVID test results from within the past 48 hours to enter the mainland if their period of stay in Macau is less than a week. Also, travelers from Macau to Zhuhai are required to fill in an online health declaration before journey. Christy Khan, TVB News.
Today, Hong Kong's daily COVID caseload dipped to 11,641, the lowest since early December last year. Among these new infections, 323 were imported. 21 residents from 16 residential care homes have come down with the coronavirus. A total of 2,668 COVID cases were reported across 908 schools. And 64 more patients succumbed to the virus, bringing the death toll to 12,193 during the fifth wave of the pandemic. And still ahead after the break, Russia claims to have killed more than 600 Ukrainian troops in an attack on college dorms in the Donetsk region. Beijing denies allegations that it's monitoring UK government vehicles through tracking devices. And a look at Baptist University's Visualization Research Center. Welcome back. Russia has claimed to have killed more than 600 Ukrainian troops in an attack on college dormitories in the east, where soldiers were said to be housed. Kyiv, though, has yet to comment on the claims, while the Ukraine military has dismissed it altogether. Moscow said the attack was in revenge for last week's Ukrainian missile strikes that killed at least 89 Russian soldiers. Nazvi Karim has more.
This is College 47. In the city of Kramatorsk in the eastern Donetsk region. It appears almost wholly intact, and just a few meters away a large crater can be seen, the result of a Russian missile attack. This crater, also from a Russian missile, is around 50 meters from what Moscow calls College 28, also in Kramatorsk. The building seems undisturbed. Russia reported that more than 600 Ukrainian servicemen were killed in these two attacks on Sunday, with Moscow saying the strikes were in revenge for Ukraine's attacks on Makiivka last week, when at least 89 Russian soldiers were killed. Reuters reporters who visited the scenes said they saw no evidence of casualties. This local resident said there was an explosion and then another explosion. The windows shook. There were a series of explosions. Really, there's nothing else to tell you, just a normal day. Authorities in Kiev did not immediately comment, while a Ukrainian military spokesman for the eastern region dismissed Russia's claims of mass casualties. If Russia's claims are true, it would be the single largest loss of Ukrainian troops since Moscow invaded on February 24th last year. In nearby Bakhmut, a key city that experienced the most intense fighting of the war so far, Ukrainian forces were repelling constant attacks, says Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. He said the town has been destroyed by Russian strikes, but Ukrainian soldiers keep holding on. Zelensky said troops are also standing their ground in Soledar, Kherson, and other areas in the east and south. The Kremlin, meanwhile, said Ukraine had returned 50 Russian soldiers in a prisoner swap at an undisclosed location. Ukraine confirmed the information and said Russia had freed 50 Ukrainian servicemen as part of the same deal. Germany, meanwhile, said it would join the United States in supplying Ukraine with military vehicles. Berlin said it would deliver around 40 Marder infantry vehicles to Ukraine before the end of March and has not ruled out supplying heavier Leopard tanks to Kiev. Nazvi Karim, TVB News.
Beijing has rebutted accusations that it is monitoring UK government vehicles via tracking devices, calling the allegations groundless and sheer rumor. The remark was made in response to British media outlets, which reported at least one SIM card capable of transmitting location data was found in a security sweep of UK government vehicles. The card was found inside a sealed part that had been imported from China. The reports prompted calls for China to be treated as a threat and for goods manufactured in China to be used with more care. According to the Chinese embassy in the UK and Northern Ireland, China has no need and no interest in collecting information on the location of British vehicles. It said the Chinese government always encourages Chinese companies to participate in foreign trade and investment in accordance with local laws and market principles. Prince Harry has defended his decision to publish a memoir that brutally exposes the rifts inside Britain's royal family. In an interview with Britain's ITV network to promote his book Spare, Harry accused members of the royal family of getting into bed with the devil to gain favorable tabloid coverage. He said he wants reconciliation with his family after their bitter split in 2020, but says they have shown no signs of wanting the same. The prince, son of King Charles III and the late Princess Diana, is also upset at how his family and the British media have been treating his wife, Meghan Markle, who is biracial.
The relationship between certain members of the family and the tabloid press, those certain members have decided to get into bed with the devil, right? To rehabilitate their image. Forgiveness is 100% a possibility, because I would like to get my father back. I would like to have my brother back. They've shown absolutely no willingness to reconcile up until this point. The way that they were acting or behaving definitely felt to me as though, unfortunately, that stereotyping was causing a bit of a barrier to them really sort of, introducing or welcoming her in. Well, American actress, divorced, biracial, there's all different parts to that and what that can mean. And I sit here now in front of you asking for a family, not an institution. I want a family.
Back in Hong Kong, the district court today found there was a prima facie case against former Stan News editor-in-chief Chung Pui-kun and acting chief editor Patrick Lam, both accused of conspiracy to publish or reproduce seditious material. A video interview of Chung was played in court. Chung was addressing the 17 articles related to the case. He admitted that he had approved the posting of 15 items on the Stan News website when he was chief editor at the time. However, he didn't answer most of the investigators' questions, including whether they had been instructed to publish the articles or the production process of the publications in question. The district court judge decided to adjourn the case until Tuesday. The two defendants were earlier granted bail after being remanded in custody since December 2021. Police have arrested 4 suspects who attempted to rob a jewelry store in Hung Hom. The incident occurred on Dock Street, where the robbers used tools such as hammers, screwdrivers, and utility knives to commit the crime. Responding to tip-offs, the police ambushed the 4 suspects at around 4:30 in the morning. That was when 2 men forcefully opened the front door of the jewelry store. The 4 male suspects are aged between 24 and 53. One of them is believed to be an illegal immigrant. And last year, the Hong Kong Baptist University established a visualization research center containing the world's first 360-degree LED visualization cinema and a 180-degree eye-dome cinema. The developer said such facilities can provide new platforms for the creative industries to meet global demand for novel, cultural, and digital experiences. Mimo Sangai has more.
1 second, we are inside a cave in Dun Wan. The next, we are outside some temples in Thailand. Walking into this world-first 360-degree 3D LED visualization cinema, which is 8 meters wide, 4 meters tall, and contains 400 LED panels, one can enjoy such a surreal experience. The chair professor of the university's Academy of Visual Arts, Jeffrey Shaw, wanted to create a cinema where audiences and images could interact, enhancing the dynamics of social behavior among viewers.
I'm always so bored when I go to the cinema or theatre and everybody's just locked in their chair, not talking to each other, not interacting with each other. And for me, very important is that in the new cinematic space, it will invite a dynamic of socialization between the viewers.
The other facility at the Visualization Research Center is this 180-degree eye-dome cinema. Using a laser DLP projector to project photos and videos taken with 3D photography onto a vertical hemisphere. Professor Shaw hoped future cinema systems could be more scalable, allowing audiences across the globe to come together. This 180-degree eye-dome cinema will have different usages, for instance, scientific research. Meanwhile, the new media art expert also wishes to use the cinemas to turn Hong Kong into an international arts and culture center. Mimosanai, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Money Matters is up shortly. Bye for now.